Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Grand Cat, and today we are here to address a very serious issue, and I have the unfortunate news of bringing this to you, the Grand Cat Grand Fleet, and making you all aware of what we are currently aware of in the current situation with what has been what is essentially a game-breaking glitch that is an exploit, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to go into detail on all of it. Now, here is a little message from Sid, who works at CatDaddy, and says, just letting you all know, any use of exploits, cheats, etc. is a bannable offence. Don't use cheats-exploits. So that's what I wanted to start off with, and what it comes from is this free gift. Now, I didn't get a chance to properly see this free gift. I was working when it was going on. It was only up for a short amount of time, and I was going to come back and record it, and by the time I got back, it was not there. And then I went on the WWE Supercard website, and I found why it wasn't there, and it is a real problem. Now, someone from the official WWE Supercard website has uploaded a video to the Discord server, which is public, and I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to show you what the exploit was. Then we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what happens and what has happened, how this affects the community, how this affects you, and what happens going forward, because I'm not entirely sure. But this here is the video. This is not my video. This is recorded from someone else. And you can see that the free gift is supposed to contain 500 credits, 2,500 super coins. It contains a whole bunch, I think it's 25 skull tokens as well. And it also contains a free unhinged card. And you could just claim it infinitely. And you can see here that this person went from, 42,000 to 52,000 credits. And then went up to 103,000 super coins. So, of course, that's very good for this one person, but what does that mean for you? I mean, you may be sitting there at home thinking, well, I didn't get this free gift. You know, I feel a little bit cheated. And no, you shouldn't, because this was never meant for what was meant for the game. You know, CatDaddy did not want people to break the game and to get unlimited credits, to get unlimited unhinged cards, and to get unlimited skull tokens. That absolutely was not the intention. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of the abuse that some people have done. So you get an Abyss card when you complete the third map of the Psychopath, and that gives you an Abyss card. And you can see that people have abused this hellaciously. They haven't even just went a little bit, they've just went entirely overboard, to the point where they have unlimited credits, unlimited super coins. Anything that gets released by CatDaddy now, they will easily be able to afford. And CatDaddy, of course, aren't going to make any money off of it. And this is a major problem, not for CatDaddy, but for us. And I'm going to explain why. Because if there's ever any PvP events, you are going to be up against people that have decks like this. You can see here that this one particular person has 10 fortified 3 Abyss cards, which is, so each one of these is 5 Abyss cards fused together, which is, well, 2 of those is 10 Abyss cards, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 Abyss cards, which means that you would have needed to completed the 3 Psychopaths 50 times, which is 150 of those paths, which you're not really supposed to do. And then you get people whose decks now look like this, and their entire deck is all just fortified 3 unhinged cards. It means that people have easily just destroyed campaign mode. It means that if you join a King of the Ring, if you weren't part of this glitch, if you didn't manage to get all fortified 3 abysses, you're going to lose. It means if there is a PvP event and you come up against any of these decks, you're going to lose. It means that if you... just anything, I mean, campaign mode has already been destroyed. So if you legitimately went your way through campaign mode, you would get a card that's maybe hundreds of points lower, or higher even, I suppose, than what you would have. So whereas you might be the 30th person to legitimately complete campaign mode, your Ultimate Warrior from campaign mode and unhinged mode would be maybe around rank 300, 400 or whatever, because people will have just... It's not even just the Abyss cards. You get a free unhinged card every single time you do this. You get a free 500 credits. You get a free 2,500 super coins. And yes, it's very, very good for the people that were able to get this, but it makes an unbalance in the game, because now I don't know what Cat Daddy can do to regain that balance for everyone. Because, I mean, for those people, there is no reason for them to spend any money on the game any longer, because they've got unlimited credits, because they've got unlimited super coins, because they've got all of these Abyss cards. And what are they going to do? Just skip Unhinged as a tier and move on to the next tier? Bring out an entire new season significantly early? Are they going to try and delete the cards that people got from this exploit? And how do you differentiate between the people that got it from the exploit and the people who legitimately paid money to get themselves an F3 Abyss? I don't know how you would actually define the difference. One of the things is, if you're going to abuse an exploit like this, really it's not the kind of thing that you want to go flaunting. It's not the kind of thing you want to go showing to everyone on the internet, because you're only bringing attention to what is very clearly a mistake. And you're not going to get people to like you from doing this. So I'm not sure why you would. I've always considered WWE Supercard to be a team game, that we all work together in a team to try and overcome events. And when people manage to complete campaign mode in my Discord server, we celebrate them, we congratulate them on it, we give people little championship belts for doing the best in Team Ring Domination and Team Road Glory. It is a fun, enjoyable little game, and I don't know what Cat Daddy's response is going to be to this, but if their answer is to not say anything, to stay silent and to hope that this all just goes away, I don't think it will. I think they have made a major mistake. I wouldn't even say it's the fault of the players taking advantage of a free pack that infinitely spawns there, that just gives you 500 free credits and 2,500 super coins, and a free unhinged card, and 25 skull tokens, so that you can get an F3 Abyss, which I think is probably the strongest card in the game at the moment. And you can get 10 of them, at least. I mean, if we see this screenshot here, you can see that the player has 3,042 of 500 cards. That is how many cards they were able to get off of just clicking on this free gift. Now, if you're one of the people that managed to do this, you're probably pretty happy. But I want you to know that you are in a minority, and there's a lot of people that aren't happy, not because they missed out on this, but because they know that if they ever meet up with you in a King of the Ring or in any kind of PvP things, that it is not possible for a legitimate player to beat someone who has a deck that looks like this. And if legitimate players cannot win any matches anymore, what's going to happen? They're going to stop playing. They're going to move on to something else. They're going to say, you know what? Maybe I'll take a look at that Raid Shadow Legends. Maybe I'll go ahead and take a look at this Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links thing. People will start to slowly disappear. And if Cat Daddy starts banning people that have got decks like this, then you're going to get even more people that are going to leave. Because now the legitimate players are going to leave, and the exploiters are going to leave. And then, where are your players? I mean, you'll have the ones that are extremely loyal, people like me that have been playing the game since Season 1, they've been playing for over 10 years, but you're not going to have the thousands and thousands of players that you currently have when they see that there's things like this. Now, I am not one that is in charge of Cat Daddy. I am not anywhere near that. I do not work for Cat Daddy. I've never worked for Cat Daddy. I am merely a person on the internet that is a fan of WWE Supercard and has been recording his journey through playing this, and I have managed to accumulate a humble following of players that are interested in watching what I have to say, watching my little videos, and watching me play the different events, give out little tutorials on how to try and do things slightly better, how to optimize your gameplay. But, as I said, that's all I am. Now, if you were to ask me what my solution would be to this, my solution would be to remove all PvP. Make the game entirely single player, with the exception of things like Team Battleground or Survivor, where your deck is chosen for you by a random thing. That way, no one has any real advantage over anyone else. Keep events to things like Ring Domination, Road to Glory, and remove anything that is PvP, anything where you get to use your deck against an opponent's deck. Remove anything where someone can get advantage using credits or using super coins. Just keep everything for the rest of Unhinged tier, single player events. Then, when you get onto the next tier, after a while, slowly bring back the PvP events when it looks like the game has balanced out again, once the Abysses are no longer a superpowered card. You're still going to have people that have essentially unlimited credits because of this. You're going to have people that have essentially unlimited super coins because of this. And there will always be a great imbalance between the legitimate players and the players who took advantage of this exploit. But, in my opinion, I think that is the only way you have a chance of keeping both sides happy. Because the people that took advantage of this exploit are not hackers. They aren't people that set out to cheat. They are people that clicked on a free pack and realised it was still there after they clicked the free pack. And they just kept clicking on it and seeing just how far it would go. If anything, these people were just curious. Now, I wasn't one of them, but I can certainly understand where these people came from. And if my account was banned because I was taking advantage of something that was given to me for free, I would be extremely upset. However, I also see it from the other side, that you weren't logged in during this particular hour or however long this free gift was up, and you see that your friends, possibly your teammates, have managed to take advantage of this huge big thing, and have now essentially completely ruined Unhinged mode because of it. And you weren't part of that and you feel left out. I also understand it from your side as well. I also understand it from Cat Daddy's side that Cat Daddy were trying to give away a free gift and something has obviously went wrong. And when they click on that free gift, it doesn't go away and you're able to just keep clicking. And I understand that no one is truly at fault here. But an issue has been made and it needs to be addressed. Either Cat Daddy gives everyone this, like 10 F3 abysses, a nigh unlimited amount of credits, a nigh unlimited amount of super coins, or you find some way to remove what was given for free without removing anything that people have legitimately paid for. Because, for example, say there is a kid who has clicked on this free gift thing like 5 times and he goes to sleep tonight, wakes up the next morning and finds that Cat Daddy have removed not only the abysses that he got, but all of the unhinged cards that he got. And now he has significantly weaker deck than he was before he first clicked on that free gift. Then that would be unfair on that person, and that person would probably quit the game. So this is entirely down to Cat Daddy trying to be generous, trying to give away a free gift, and something has went horribly, horribly wrong, and it's down to human nature to take advantage of something like this. I don't see any reasonable solution to this anytime soon, not easily. I'm actually a little bit thankful that I did miss it, because had I been aware of this, I'd probably been one of the ones clicking that, and then that would have been very difficult for me, being one of the ones that did it, to try and communicate this to all of you out there in the Grand Cat Grand Fleet. And I'm sure that some of you did manage to get it. You did manage to click on it multiple times, and you probably have yourself a whole bunch of abysses. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing that you should feel like, in fairness to the game, I'm going to delete my abysses. No, you shouldn't do that. You've got those cards, and keep them for as long as Cat Daddy deems that you should have them. If Cat Daddy finds some way of, I don't know, doing a Doctor Strange, finding the time stone, reversing time to before this glitch happened, and somehow fixing this entire situation, that would be the best scenario. But I don't see that happening, because time travel has yet to be invented in the year 2025. At least, not available to the common people. Maybe people that are multi-trillionaires have access to it, but we certainly don't, and they certainly wouldn't allow us to know if they did. So I genuinely think the only way they can fix this is to just remove PvP, to maybe give out an equivalent gift to everyone who didn't click on the free gift. Maybe, I mean, I'm not saying, like, give everyone, like, 50 abysses. That would be ridiculous. But something to even up the odds. Or, and the thing is, you can't even just go, well, it's easy, just nerf Abyss so that he's a really bad card. Because then the people who legitimately spent money and tried to get the skull tokens and legitimately got themselves a pro Abyss would be really upset as well. So that isn't a proper solution. So I would like to hear from the Grand Cat Grand Fleet. I want to know from all of you guys in the comment section below, if you were Cat Daddy, if you were in charge, what would you do in this scenario? How would you try to mitigate this disaster? How would you try and keep all the players that you currently have happy and try to prevent players from quitting because of this hideous mistake that has happened? I think if it had just been skull tokens and it had just been unhinged cards, I think this would be a lot easier scenario for Cat Daddy, because then they could just give everyone unlimited unhinged cards and skull tokens. But what Cat Daddy can't do is give everyone unlimited credits and unlimited super coins, because if everyone has unlimited super coins, there's no reason to do team battlegrounds anymore or to do any of your PvP things realistically. If everyone has unlimited credits, no one is ever going to spend money on the game again, and without any money going into the game will surely be cancelled, because unfortunately that's the way that companies work, is they need money in order to continue running. So they can't reasonably do that. If they have some sort of resource to find the amount of credits that had been gifted to everyone, and they can remove that, that would certainly go a long way to fixing this. They would also need to do the same with super coins, and also do the same for the free gifts. But I don't think Cat Daddy have something that can actually monitor what you've earned by paying money from a credit card and what you've earned by clicking a free pack. I don't think they have something that differentiates between the two. So then they're in this really, really difficult decision, this really difficult position, where they need to come up with a solution, and they need to come up with a solution quickly. Because I have already seen people on my Discord server being quite upset. I have seen people in the official WWE Supercard Discord server being upset, and there's only a minority of people that will voice when they're upset before they quit a game. A majority of people won't even say anything. They will just go, well, the game's ruined, let's move on to something else. And that's what you don't want happening. You don't want mass people's quitting or leaving your game, because then we fall into the exact same scenario where the game stops making money, and if the game isn't viable, it's not valuable enough, then they will announce the cancellation of the game. I have seen it happen with multiple other mobile games of which I was ranked in the top 10 of the world, and they have all fallen by the wayside. WWE Supercard is amongst the better games. It has a huge community, has a huge number of players, has a huge following, and it's also one of the nicest communities, at least in my little corner of the internet. I have a really, really nice community, and I would hate to see anything happen to this game, and I think that there may be mild concern for the future of the game if this isn't addressed very, very quickly. So once again, folks, let me know what you guys would do in the comment section below. How would you guys go about fixing this? In terms of fairness, what could you give, or what could you take away from everyone? Should you take away anything? Should you give anything to the players? Or should you do anything at all? Or is the correct answer to just stay silent and hope that this all blows over, and then after thousands of people leave the game, just try to rebuild with what you have left? I don't know the answer, but I will say that I will continue playing Supercard up until the end, or at least for the time being. However, I'm not happy, and I don't think you should be happy either. And I think we need to wait, and I think we need to let Cat Daddy have a chance to reply and to respond to the community and tell us what is going to happen next. And that is going to be it for this little video, folks, and I really hope that you have all understood. I'm the Grand Cat, and I shall see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.